Welcome, bout betters. I wish I could get this content out sooner, but none of my views nor opinions have flipped from my intoxicated post-analysis of London Calling. Please like and subscribe and check out the live content that I've already put up, as well as in the future for all your drunken degenerate gambling needs. Yes, there may have been drinking afterwards, but all of my plays, or my best plays that I made for this week, were made prior to me being intoxicated, and I discussed those in that live chat. A line that has closed slightly is this bout between minus 165 Viacheslav Borshchev and plus 132 Marc Diakiese. I can understand the money coming in support of Diakiese, as he by far has both the more MMA and UFC fight experience. He has faced the better UFC competition and will be fighting for his UFC spot. Borshchev is a Dana White Contender Series guy, so the fade is appropriate, as he basically has fought no one of UFC caliber, while Diakiese has been in there with Nasrat Haqparast, Dan Hooker, and the likes of Rafael Fiziev. So he is a bit more battle-proven in the UFC, but he lost to all those opponents, even losing to Dan Hooker via submission. Both these guys are finishers, but it's Borshchev who has finished all his opponents in the UFC as well as Dana White Contender Series. Thus, the padded and meaningless RX metrics. This is going to be a striker versus striker match. Yes, Diakiese will stretch and reach and even feint for a takedown, but he, like Borshchev, is a pure striker. It may seem like Borshchev statistically is the poorer striker, but the guy is a master of sport and the striking coach at Team Alpha Male. The stats are in Diakiese's favor because we have a smaller sample size of opponents and matches. Diakiese is fast and dangerous, while Borshchev is fast and powerful. Diakiese will have the speed and movement advantage, but Borshchev will counter that with technical power. The guy hits hard. I mentioned this in my drunken escapade, how hard Borshchev hits. I wouldn't want to be one of those guys like where I'm a media person or just a friend like, hey, hit me, even with pads on this guy. The guy does have some hands. Boris does absorb more strikes, but I think he does this to close distance, and because he's just so strong, his body, he uses his body he wants to absorb one to give two or three. He also doesn't move off the center line. He very much is a juggernaut with constant forward pressure and movement, and Marc Diakiese does not do well against that. This does present an opening for Diakiese, as Viacheslav will underestimate his power and put himself unnecessarily into that risk of being hit or touched up. But Borshchev is a technician and is accustomed to the attacks of other pure kickboxers. Diakiese has the advantage in the grappling, but really isn't effective or well-versed in his wrestling nor submission grappling. All his metrics, while better than Viacheslav, are less than mediocre, and I sincerely doubt he can execute a grappling-heavy game plan. In fact, his grappling is so average that I wouldn't doubt and I'd be not even stunned if Borshchev can clinch with him easily and safely to recover if Marc Diakiese hit him, or that Borshchev could take him down just to sort of cover up for his lack of cardio here and there. Because Diakiese doesn't have the grappling skill set and will be relegated to a stand-up battle with Santa Claus, he is Joey's pick. Borshchev does tire and doesn't have the MMA experience, but this is going to end up a kickboxing match, and that being the case, Santa Claus will dominate this match. I don't expect the over or under to be set at minus 1.5, but I do expect the not to go distance to be chalk money, not a ton of chalk money, but I wouldn't chase it, as Diakiese has a chin and has never been finished via knockout. But Santa Claus hits like very few in the UFC and has the technical ability to finish Diakiese. But I've already utilized Viacheslav Borshchev as my pillar or phalanx in many parlays, and I've mentioned this in the chat, and I'm going to put some out to you just so that my listeners can get advantage of them, because his number has actually come down, which I think is to our advantage. I put him in with Neil Magny. I have him with Matt Brown. I put him in with Mateus Nicolau as a impulse, as well as Cara Rosa, and I hope to make content on all of those. I also consider the master of sport parlay with Askar Askarov and Peter Yan. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Please like and subscribe. Have your friends like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Let me know what you guys think of this match between Borshchev and Diakiese. And as always, if you've made it this far, you are about better.